From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBICD Primetime Capper, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you are feeling the same. And man, oh man, it is a beautiful, beautiful day in LA. Even though it's a little cold and we had a good little rain yesterday, it is what it is, man. Bad news for all the sports bettors out there that hearts were a little broken, but I think it was the right thing. I think it was the right thing. But there will be no sports betting in California as of yet. Both Prop 26 and Prop 27 were blown out yesterday with a resounding no. Because you guys really, a lot of people outside of California and the impulsive books and things of that nature really don't understand the issues that California is having right now. And there's people that run these places that don't need more power. And they keep telling you the money's going to go here and go there, but the money's not going to go to where it's supposed to go. And you got to understand, California people know a little bit more than California people actually read, what's going on. They just don't read what the first thing you see when you say, okay, sports betting to be legal here. But who's going to be in charge of it? And these people already have enough power as is. So right now, it's just not ready yet. You know what I mean? And you guys got to understand, they're doing Vegas a monster favor right now by not doing this. Arizona as well, too. Because once you take away California, once you take away Arizona, and literally, if Utah wants to step in and do their own business as well, too, with sports betting, Vegas, when it comes to sports betting, is over with. Because it's already bad enough that you have all the casinos on the way out to Vegas now as well too. Or if you bend out, go on that 10, you go to Morongo, Fantasy Springs, and get the same Vegas experience in the desert. You can still be in the desert. So just give it some time. It just wasn't ready yet. I see a lot of people on Twitter were mad about it, but just wasn't ready yet. It's just that simple. It wasn't ready yet. So what are we doing to do? So what are we doing now? Let's go ahead and jump into our first topics of discussion for today. And up first, let's go ahead and jump into a fun little subject that we have here, the CFB Playoff Picture. And the CFB Playoff Picture is a fun one, to be exact. So we have ourselves a very fun group here with this group right here. And from what you can see, you got a good CFP ranking here with Georgia number 1. That was we already knew that right after they beat Tennessee that was going to happen. You have Ohio State number 2, kind of begrudgingly, because I know what they really wanted to do. They wanted to make Michigan number 2, but Michigan beat Rutgers, so they couldn't really put them in the group because Rutgers is terrible. But Ohio State beat Northwestern, and they only scored 21 points. But they were playing in the wind, rain. It was just terrible weather. They were actually not doing too well in the first half as well, too. But they won a good, gutsy game. You got to give them their props on that. That was gutsy. You know what I mean? So you have that. Michigan took care of their business. And then TCU got themselves a nice win over Texas Tech. And, TCU deserves to be here because TCU really has played some really, really fine football this season as well, too. But we know that this is not going to last much longer. That's why they're not taking them as seriously, because if they really were taking TCU seriously, they would have tried to do something where, okay, we're going to put TCU in the second slot. You know what I mean? They didn't do that. And I would have said it's not hard to do that, but at the end of the day, it is because Ohio State's going to stay being number 2 right now because they did beat Notre Dame, and Notre Dame did come in there as the 8th ranked team in the nation when they played each other as well. It does not matter that Notre Dame's lost 3 games; they were considered a top 10 team to start the year off. So they have that in their cap, and then in the game against against Penn State, they had issues, but they came back. So Ohio State has good wins against about 3 top 15 teams this year. So that's why they're here. And Ohio State could have went to number 1. Honestly, if Tennessee doesn't play, Tennessee was only in the number 1 spot because they had to show the illusion of the SEC. This team beat Alabama. They scored 52 points. Let's put them in a position that they're not ready for. Now, when you see who's on the outside looking in, TCU has jumped ahead of USC. USC has no business being in the top 10. I would say that Alabama still should be the number 7 team in the nation, maybe number 6, because who did they lose to? They lost to 2 top tier teams at the end of the day. You know what I mean? They lost to LSU, who's an awesome team. And they also had that loss this year. Let's see who they lost to, because I'm trying to totally remember who. Because somebody don't use it was Tennessee. What the hell? I don't have to look that up. But both those were some very, very, very. It could have went either way. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and they barely lost to LSU, and they barely lost to Tennessee. So that's what they're going to use to factor Alabama into the mix. If Alabama was to surprise all of us and make the Final Four, I would not be surprised by that at all. To be honest with you, I would not be surprised by that one bit because the writing's kind of on the wall. You know what I mean? That they're going to put this team in a position to where they're going to be there. But I truly do think that they got way too many. To be honest with you, they got way too many SEC teams here. I know SEC gets all the love and all that good stuff, but Mississippi at 11, come on, man. I don't think that's right. But as you can see, they're putting all the Pac-12 teams somewhat together. You got Utah and UCLA 12 and 13. UCLA should actually be higher than USC. USC has not played anybody who's ranked, and the team that they haven't beat anybody who's ranked. But the team that was ranked, a top 10 team in Utah, beat them. Okay? But they'll say that was luck and da. But that's the only ranked team on your resume. And a lot of people have it in the back of their head that they're not going to beat UCLA this year because UCLA has a very, very good team, and they have razzle dazzle quarterback as well too in DTR. So when you look at it, if everything holds, they'll still figure out a way to get TCU out of here. Just know that. Just know the fact that TCU has to really hope Michigan loses beforehand, because they're going to do everything in their power to try to not get a Big 12 team in here if they're not named Texas or Oklahoma. And that might be, and see, to me, the killer part that kills the Big 12, the Pac-12 don't have the same issue the Big 12 got. When Texas and Oklahoma leave, your conference is really now the AAC. Seriously. They will have to add the best teams in the AAC to even think about being still a Power 5 conference at the end of the day. No offense to the teams that are there. They're still a Power 5 conference when it comes to basketball, but it wouldn't be for football anymore because they don't respect TCU. They don't respect Baylor. I'm talking about all the teams that are on top. Nebraska leaving destroyed the Big 12, in my opinion, because Nebraska being there was a great rival for Oklahoma and Texas. That was always a high-selling game. And literally seeing Texas A&M leave as well, too, it didn't hit right away, but losing Texas A&M was huge as well, too. And so you got these things where at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that you can work out for this team, but I still just feel that this is going to be a very funny parody at the end of all this. And I think that Ohio State still can get in if they lose to Michigan. Michigan can't get in if they lose to Ohio State. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? I know it sounds crazy, but Ohio State has a top-notch player, and they don't want to miss out on that. But I still do think they're going to try their hardest to get 3 SEC teams into the Final Four. Why? I don't know, but that's just because they love that conference so much. And Oregon looks like they're going to get the short end of the stick, even if they win out. You know what I mean? They're going to get jumped regardless of anything. But I have this feeling that they're going to lose very soon as well, too. But I know you look at it, you say they lost to Georgia, and that's it. Everybody else, they bulldozed. But to me, that means nothing. I think that they still have a tough schedule ahead of them. They haven't played Washington yet, and they haven't played Oregon State yet. So they're gonna have to get through those games, man, and they're gonna have to be good in those games as well, too. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out, as I like to say. So pretty much that's it. And let's go ahead and move on to our other news. And on other news in hoop news, we have Jacque Vaughn officially becomes the coach of the Nets. Will he right the ship? Jacque Vaughn was a college All-American, high school All-American. I think he even won Naismith Player of the Year as well, too. Jacque Vaughn is from my city, Pasadena, California. And Jacque Vaughn is an absolute he's a point guy in the city. And a lot of people admire everything about Jacque Vaughn. Jacque Vaughn, this is more than deserved. I think that his first run as a head coach was kind of short-lived because the team he was involved with, Orlando was figuring out a way to try to be good at that time, and they was just trying to be real good, trying to figure out a way to be relevant. And I don't think that they gave Jacque enough time to really build that team. Even though they weren't consistently winning games and things of that nature, they only gave him about 40 games, you know what I mean, before they let him go. So Jacque was really good on helping the Nets the first time around when he was interim coach for him for a bit, and they did a good job of sneaking into the playoffs during the bubble. You know, when they had Kyrie and crew and all these guys and all that stuff, whatever, not playing, but he still was able to coach Dinwiddie and Jared Allen and all these really, really good players for other teams now. And then once again, he was passed over for Steve Nash, a guy who had no head coaching experience, but he had a name. So it goes to show you how dysfunctional the Nets front office is. Now they made it to where everybody had this grand idea that Ime Udoka was coming, but once again, you can't dictate things without really getting the confirmation of things. I know people got all over me when I said Jacque Vaughn is now the head coach of the Nets. No. Udoka's taking over. 3 weeks passed by already. Udoka's not taking over. Udoka is probably never going to coach in the league again because what he did was just stupid. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't have all the details, but he got caught. It was stupid. That's all it is. And really, why are you doing that in the first place? Ain't your job to focus on coaching the team? So why would you want this person to be your head coach moving forward? And you already got a dysfunctional situation going on where you got a player that's not even – it was not cooperating from how you guys feel. But all in all, the Nets should be better because Jacque Vaughn is a pure basketball guy, and he's a great leader as well, too. And he knows exactly what buttons to push to get this team going in the right direction, in my opinion. So I think that the Nets did the right thing by hiring Jacque Vaughn. They haven't lost the game yet under Jacque either, even though they did. I think they did lose the other night to the Mavs, but still they had won 2 games in a row. So they're playing good basketball, much better basketball than they did under Steve Nash. And the defense intensity is better. And also Kevin Durant's a little bit more confident now. You know what I mean? Kevin Durant knows what time it is. Now he can just run the show and do what he do. And Ben Simmons is a great distributor, so that works out well for them. So Congratulations to Pasadena's own Jacque Vaughn, living legend. And we are very proud of you. And he's one of these guys that I always looked up to as well, too. So I'm rooting for him to be a big, big success for the Brooklyn Nets. All right. So there it is. There it is with that. And let's move forward to our next topic in hand. And that's going to be State of the Lakers. And the Lakers coming to this one after winning 2 in a row. They've lost 3 in a row now. The Lakers it's frustrating, right? It's just so frustrating with the Lakers. But it's okay because it was kind of expected. This is kind of just the Lakers being served up kind of what they deserve. So they came into the month of November. They got to win. Everybody's excited. Got a big win, too. They beat New Orleans on as Zion was there. And, him and LeBron, he outdid him and all this stuff. Now, and they were getting touted as one of the better defenses in the league, even though they gave 117 points that night. They played Utah twice. Utah was scored 130 the first time, 139 the next time. The Lakers were stuck at 116 both times. They wound up losing by 23 on Monday. They wound up losing by 14 last Friday. Then they lost by 14 to LeBron's old team, the Cavs. So the Lakers are really, I don't know what to say anymore. It's just that they lack to me, they lack motivation a lot of times in games. And also what they lacking is urgency. They got to get urgent. You know what I mean? They got to understand that, they got three Hall of Famers on the roster. And these guys got to man up and start playing real good basketball. And I truly do feel like the Lakers have to just stop being so clownish. You know what I mean? Why are you celebrating after every bucket you make? Why are we doing hot fives and backflips and you're not winning the game? You get within 2, play even harder so you can get the lead and keep a lead. The Lakers have been able to tie each and every one of these games and have a monster great run and still figure out ways to blow the game. They got to be better. It's like you're losing on purpose. And then the irony of the situation was THT getting a monster dunk last night and literally laughing at the Lakers like, yeah, you really traded me for Pat Bev, huh? How's that working out, fellas? And, LeBron over there, man, well, LeBron, you're the one that made them get rid of Caruso so they could keep THT. So your boy could go ahead and get that commission, right, Rich Paul? Yeah. Yeah. Real Laker fans remember all that. You know what I mean? So if you guys don't see the bullshit that's going on with the Lakers right now, you're very blind. And if you're still appeasing LeBron and his bullshit, you really not a Laker fan. You just a LeBron fan, to be honest with you. And I truly do think at this point in time, I'm willing to go ahead and still do what I do, stay to the Lakers, and because I'm a Laker lifer and I'm franchise first. But if I was in charge right now, owner, GM, whatever, all y'all gone. Everybody on this team is gone. Period, point blank. I'm trading everything I got. You know what I mean? Because I want some players that's going to play some basketball. I don't want nobody that's just going to be up in here just hanging out. I'm a Laker. It's cool. No. You got to win in LA. Because if you ain't winning in LA, it's a waste of time. And ain't nobody going to be tuning in for that. You don't even get in the club no more. Okay? Now, JTA, bro, you'll be doing good over at Denny's or IHOP, but you try to go over to anywhere else other than that, you ain't getting into no clubs in Hollywood, buddy. You know what I mean? I got my Warriors ring. Don't nobody know you. So, they really hype dude up like he's doing anything. That's what's killing me with the Lakers. They're hyping up guys that are doing absolutely nothing, but sitting on the bench, enjoying being a Laker. Lakers got to do better. My opinion for tonight is pray. even though the Clippers been so bad. So the Lakers can probably keep up with them tonight as well, too. Even though the Clippers got a winning record, they're still playing mediocre basketball at the same time, too. So I would love to see the Lakers take advantage of this game tonight and actually finish up the Clippers because they could have beat them last time they played them. So there it is. There it is. With that, we're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break. And when we get back, we're going to get into tonight's games. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cool off a little bit because, talk about the Lakers will stroke you out to keep you honest. Lakers is ready. You got me feeling like Fred Sanford. Oh God, the big one. You know what I mean? So it is what it is at the end of the day. But we'll be back in a moment. You guys stay tuned. This is the premier sports betting show with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper, and I'll be right back at you.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, here we are. Let's go ahead and jump into our next into Mac Wednesday night. At the Mac Wednesday night, feels like McDonald's Mac Wednesday night. Come get the 29-cent hamburger. You know what I mean? Or it was the 29-cent hamburger on Wednesdays, 39-cent cheeseburgers on Sundays. And this was in the late 90s too, y'all. This wasn't like 1975 and everything, but they sat them little deals and stuff, man. So pretty much guys already know. Mac Wednesday night. You already know what it is, man. So and now I'm on a strict diet. So no McDonald's for me until further notice. And I would say you guys do the same thing. Even if you're not on a diet, just stay away from it. It's crap food. All right, so we got Kent State and Bowling Green going at it, and we got Kent State coming in here 3-6. You got Bowling Green 5-4. These two teams they're still pretty even when it comes to the division and the conference and all that good stuff. So I truly do think that we do have ourselves a very, very even game in this spot tonight. I think that you have a Kent State team who's coming off of a so-so performance last week. Bowling Green wasn't great last week, but the thing is, these teams kind of meeting at the right time. Kent State losing a home game as well too, so that didn't look too good, and they already have lost both their road games in conference as well too. So Bowling Green got a little bit of advantage in that portion of the game, and Bowling Green's won their last 3 in a row, but they did have a little difficulty last week trying to win that game. They only won 13-9, but they were much better the week before. But it seems like playing at home hasn't been where they just go out there and kill you. The thing is, we had Akron. They beat Akron on the road. Then they went ahead and they were able to blow away Buffalo. Then they came back around, had a good win over Miami of Ohio. Well, actually, they got blown out by Buffalo. I'm so sorry, at home. So, we have Miami of Ohio game was tough, but they took care of business there. Also took care of business against a tough Central Michigan team at Central Michigan, and then we're able to get a good win last week against Western Michigan. Now, Kent State can't say the same thing. Both when it comes to the standings, you got Kent State coming in here 2-3 in conference play, and they are 0-5 on the road. So everything is calling for Bowling State to win this game, but this is where you get in trouble at for Bowling Green to win this game. What's it, Bowling State? This is where you kind of can get yourself into a little bit of trouble here. So I think that this might be an over bet in a sense on Bowling Green. And I think that Kent State, after what happened last week, should be a lot better. So I do expect a really good game tonight. And I do expect the scoreboard to get lit up as well, too. So this should be a fun one in the MAC. So let's go ahead and move on to our next game. That's going to be Western Michigan and the Northern Illinois Huskies. This should be a fun one as well, too. This is a game that has 2-7 going against 3-6. All right, so we damn, okay, no. And so we have ourselves a very good matchup here, 2-7. NIU. Then we got Western Michigan 3-6 over under 49.5. When you look at the points, they're not that far away on points either tonight. Western Michigan, they've been really good over the last few years, but this year they're not that good. They've lost their last 3 out of 4 games as well, too. They're not playing well. When you look at them in conference play, they're 2-3 in conference play this year as well. And they're trying to right those wrongs. They're trying to figure out a way how they're going to leapfrog in the second place. You got Eastern Michigan, Ball State in second place right now. It could be a 3-way tie for that situation as well, too. But they're a 3-6 team, and a lot of their wins are coming from the conference. So you look at Northern Illinois. This team has wound up losing their last 4 out of 5 games, and they could be better, but they're not. You know what I mean? So a lot of things will work out in the favor of to Western Michigan because they're at home tonight. But, NIU is still a tough spot. You know what I mean? For these teams. Northern Illinois is always going to be a tough game in the MAC. So we're going to see how it goes, see how it shakes out. But I'll have something good for you guys in a moment. But I do like the way that this game is setting up as well, too. All right, so we finish up with our final game, and that's going to be Buffalo going against Central Michigan tonight. And that game is going to be at Central Michigan tonight. Buffalo coming into this game got whooped on last week. Kind of a surprise whooping too, but they're 5-4 coming into the game. Central Michigan's 3-6 at home. Central Michigan got a good win over Akron on the road, and they got a good win last week. We know because we had them last week as well too. I gave that out on the show. But lost to Bowling Green at home. And then lost to Ball State at home 2 by 1. So this team 2-3 right now in conference play, and they are looking. Buffalo coming in here. Buffalo is a good team, but Buffalo will catch you slipping. Buffalo will mess you up if you don't look at them right. Buffalo did win 5 in a row, though. After dropping their first 3 games of the season, they came back, won 5 in a row, then got smashed by Ohio last week on the road. Now they're back on the road against Central Michigan, and the bounce back should be in full effect. They're only they're a 2.5 point. They're actually a 2.5 point dog here. So, hopefully I got that right. Yeah, they're the dog here. So I would say this. Why would you not want to take them? Buffalo is sitting pretty right now as well, too. So why wouldn't you want to take Buffalo? You know what I mean? Buffalo is 4-1 in conference play. 5-4 in the season, even though they already got smashed by Ohio, this is still good for them to try to get to a bowl game. So at the end of the day, I like what you see, what I see here, and we'll see how this one goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But Buffalo at Central Michigan should be a good betting game tonight. And I really, truly feel like you got yourself a cherry here, especially because it's a dog play. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. Buffalo at Central Michigan tonight, and we'll see how this one plays out. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our NBA. Wednesday night, NBA Wednesday night, we got ourselves some great games going on. We got 13 games going on in the NBA tonight after they took last night off for voting. So pretty much up first, we have ourselves a doozy with the Blazers and the Hornets. The Blazers and Hornets coming into this one. Two teams going in two different directions. You got Hornets team coming in here 3-8, while you got the Blazers in here 7-3. The Blazers have surprised everybody. They probably have got some of the biggest dog wins in a while. You know what I mean? They did win the other night, plus 11 straight up. I think another night they're a plus 10-1 straight up as well, too. They're 2-2 for the month, but they had an awesome start of year, October. They actually were able to win the first 5 out of 6 games that they had. And they've held their own. They got a good win against Miami last night, and they got a good win last Friday against Phoenix. But tonight they go into this one, and they are, I would say, in a position where they can be overbet tonight, and that's not good because Charlotte is a team that likes to show up at home, but Charlotte has dropped. I'm looking at their last 5 games. They dropped the last 5 in a row, but that's understandable. No LaMelo. So they got that issue going on as well, too. So when you ain't got no LaMelo, it's tough, man. It's just really tough. So, tonight, this could be, I'm looking at this one as an upset. I think that the Hornets figure out a way to get the Dameless Blazers out of here, because if the Blazers were really that good of a team, the Blazers would be actually a bigger favorite tonight, correct? They're giving us a number showing us that it's going to be some issues for the Blazers tonight. So I'm going to take the Hornets here. So I do like the plus 3.5, but I like that plus 140 even more. And we got ourselves a good old 80s rivalry game, and that's the Celtics and the Pistons. You got the Pistons coming in here, same record, 3-8, going against a 7-3 team. Boston at home tonight, big favorite. But you know what? I never liked Boston as a big favorite. Detroit has played well the last few times they went to Boston as well, too. So they're coming off of a win at home the other day. The Pistons, they won that game by 9. And then you got the Celtics coming into this one, winners of their last 4 out of 5, including their last 3 in a row as well, too. Big win over Memphis on the road. Big win over the Knicks by 15. And then they also were able to avenge that game with the Bulls as well, too. So they're playing really good basketball right now. They're number 2 in scoring in the league as well, too. Number 6 in field goal percentage. Number 2 in free throw percentage as well. So they're balling, and 3-point shots made, they're third in that category. It's just Boston is kind of picking up where they left off last season. Doesn't matter who the coach is, they got the talent. So I feel like this one right here will wind up being a scoreboard watch, and I really do like the way that this one's setting up on the over, to be honest with you. So we'll see how this one goes. We'll see how it shakes out, but this should be another good game as well, too. Really, I like the under. I'm sorry about that. So the under should be a play because I think the over will be over bet. So we'll see how it goes, see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. Now we got the Pelicans and the Bulls tonight, and the Pelicans and Bulls should be a good one. You got a 5-4 Pelicans team, and then you have a 6-6 Bulls team going at it tonight. It's 5-5, 6-6, but these two teams are very similar. They got a lot of really good young players. You got the Pelicans, who started off so good in October, winning their first 4 out of 6, and then they come back around and they've lost their last 3 out of 4. Now, this completes their 3-game road trip as well, too. So I know they want to get some of that home cooking going because they got a 6-game homestand until they go back on the road on the 23rd. So they're getting themselves prepared for that big moment as well, too. So we'll see how it goes. I think that this one winds up being a very fun game, but I think the Bulls got enough to go ahead and take care of their business and get themselves a good win here against a very hungry Pelicans team. But the Bulls is hungry too, so we'll see who wants it more. I expect this game to be really close too at the end of the day. So we'll see how it goes, see how it checks out. We move forward to probably what's going to be the game of the night. We got the Wolves and the Suns in Minnesota. You got the Wolves coming in here 5-6. You got the Suns 7-3 on the season. Suns, I know they're shorthanded tonight, so that's why they're not the favorite here. But that doesn't really matter because the Suns are so well coached and so organized that it shouldn't be an issue for them to have a good big game tonight. Now they are 2-2 for the month, but a lot of teams are starting off slow because we're still in the early portions of the season. So don't take everything so seriously here in the NBA in the first 10 games when they got 82 games. You know what I mean? You got Minnesota, who played really well to start the year in October, but they've lost 3 out of 4 here. So they're looking to get some revenge. They did lose in Phoenix on November 1st by 9. So we'll see how this one shakes out. They've had a tough schedule, though. They had to play against Milwaukee, and they lost that game. And they played New York, lost that game as well, too. But they're trying to get this right, though, because they got 2 losses on this 4-game homestand. So they want to be even on this homestand. So Phoenix looking to get themselves a good win tonight, and the Wolves looking to get themselves a good win tonight as well, too. So that's why I say we scoreboard watch here and see how it goes. And I think that we do get the over here. So let's see how this one see how it shakes out. All right. So we move on to the Cavs and the Kings. The Cavs and the Kings. Oh man, the Cavs, the hottest team nobody's talking about. The Cavs have won 8 out of 10 games to start the year. Sacramento is playing better basketball than they did to start the year. Because to start the year, they were atrocious. They dropped their first 4 games of the year. Now they went ahead and they are 3-2 since that point. So they had 1-2 in a row, then lost, won again, then lost. But their games have been really close. All their games have been decided by 3 points or less the last 3. So this is a tough spot somewhat for the Cavs, but I think the Cavs are going to be ready for this situation tonight because I don't think that they're taking any bad teams for granted because they used to be a bad team. So they know to get to where you need to get to in this league, you got to win these games. So taking them on the spread tonight is an easy call for me, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I like them with the -4. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it shakes out, but that's going to be our NBA Wednesday night games that I have for you, the games I feel that are the best for us to be into tonight and get into and talk about because they got 13 games. I'm not going to talk about all the games. All right. Just, I don't work for NBA TV. So just love your 5 that you're going to get because they all going to be on this ticket in a minute. So you guys stick around. We got Talkin Tickets coming up in the next 90 seconds. So you guys stay tuned to the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles Live, with their host, the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Kappa. And I'll be right back at you in a few.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we're back, and let's go ahead and jump into it. It's time. It's that time, man. It's that time that y'all love on the show. It's Talking Tickets. So let's talk those tickets. Up first, we got Buffalo at Central Michigan. We're gonna put that out first. I like Buffalo with the +115 on the money line tonight. We also had an over 27 first half as well, and then we have the half a point for the first quarter. Remember, that's the first quarter. Okay, so when I tweet it out, it is show up the right way, but that is the first quarter, the plus half a point. All right. Then we have Kent State at Bowling Green. I'm going to go ahead and take the 2.5 on Kent State tonight. I think that they win this game by a field goal or better. I got Kent State up at the half, and I also got this game being getting 2 touchdowns in the first quarter as well too. So let's go ahead and get those 2 touchdowns. Let's sweep the board in this spot. All right, then we go ahead and we have Northern Illinois and Western Michigan. I'm going to go ahead and take the under 49 for the game, and then we're going to go ahead and do the Western Michigan money line first half, and then we're going to also do the plus. So that means if we're tied, we can go ahead and cash that ticket in the first quarter. All right, so we go to the CBB PrimeTime PK6. You thought I wasn't going to give you guys a college basketball ticket tonight? I know I didn't talk about it, but it's still, I'm going to give y'all a college basketball ticket. Don't ever think I'm not going to do that. I got the Marist game going. They're at home tonight, minus 130. That's a good spot, though. You can go either way with that game. I just think Marist has a little bit more at the end of the day to win that game. Y'all got to stop sleeping on the Metro, baby. You saw what happened last night. Providence almost caught the L last night from Ryder. So, don't play around. And then I love Wright State in the spot. I know it's risky business because they are going against Davidson at A10 power, but I still think that Wright State has enough to make that a very, very good game. So I think that this one will wind up being a very good spot. Then we also have the plus 16 on Hampton as well, too. Hampton's in a spot where they could possibly get themselves a win, too. I think that they are overselling James Madison in a sense. James Madison is good, but come on, dude. James Madison just left the Colonial, didn't they? So, come on, let's remember who they are. You know what I mean? I know they're in the Sun Belt now, but the Sun Belt ain't no major conference. So, let's go ahead and see how this one goes. But I like Hampton with the plus 16. And then we got Louisville tonight going against Belmarine. I know Louisville is a little bit different than they were a decade ago when they were winning the national championship and all that good stuff. But come on, it's opening night in Louisville over at the Yum Yum Center. They ain't losing. So let's go ahead and get that in -8 to Louisville tonight as well, too. Then Boise State, who's always a good spot to have when they're at home at the Taco Bell Arena. I think that they'll do well tonight at the Taco Bell Arena. So I'm going to take Boise State with the 6.5. And then we finish up with Florida Gulf Coast with the CBB dog of the day. And they had themselves a game against San Diego. They just beat USC the other night. So I don't think that they beat USC. USC is a very good team. So San Diego isn't better than USC. I think that the way they beat up on USC, this one is a no-brainer that you take them with the plus money. They literally are handing us charity. So I love the 58-1 ticket right here. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out, and we move forward from there. We got the NBA tonight, 33-1 on this ticket, and I'm going to go ahead and, as I said before, the Hornets are my dog of the day with the plus 140. Then we also have the under 226 with the Pistons and the Celtics. Then we have the Bulls money line plus 110, and we have the over 222.5 with the Suns and the Wolves. And then we finish up with the Cavs tonight with the -4. That's going to be a 33-1 ticket. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But that's our talking tickets for tonight. And I do feel really good about where we're going here tonight. I feel like we can cash out a few of these tickets. And as you guys know, if you were a client, you did cash out last night because we had Ryder on the premium. We also had DeQuince on the 3.5 last night as well, too. And we also had some pretty good spots in college football as well. With getting the under 55 last night and also getting the a good win last night as well, too, from Ohio. So it is what it is at the end of the day. And if you guys are interested in being clients, you guys can hit me up on the Twitter at PopDBIC, and I'll go ahead and get you situated. We do have the early bird special where you will get the year 2023 and the rest of this year as well, too, if you do sign up. And this is for new and existing clients as well, too. So you guys already know what the deal is. So you guys hit me up so we can make sure that we got I got a strong team with me as we roll into next year, because it's only going to get better, y'all. That's all I can say. So y'all make sure you keep tuning in and you get your family members tuned in, your buddies tuned in, all that good stuff, so we can keep this movement moving, all right? So as I always say, bet with your head, not with your heart. And like I always like to say, I'm going to be redundant. The movement is moving. And so we'll be back tomorrow at noon or 11. I'll go ahead and announce that time on Twitter. And then I'll probably be taking the weekend off because I do have to go out of town until Tuesday. So, but there still will be tickets, though. Don't worry about that part. So there it is. There it is. You guys are the absolute best. This is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. And, man, you guys have a beautiful day. Love you, Pops. And we are out of here.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.